Part 6. You're doing beautifully. Just breathe and let the world grow even softer now. The forest is quiet around you, as if it holds its breath to cradle yours. You are safe. You are surrounded by stillness, and the story carries you like a leaf on a breeze. Time in the forest doesn't tick, it drifts, and in this moment, you are drifting too. The falconer sits with you, her back against the broad trunk of an ancient tree. Its bark is dark and textured like folds of old parchment. Its branches stretch high above, offering dappled sunlight that dances across your skin. You feel the warmth there, tiny golden pools that shift gently with each movement of the wind. Above, the leaves whisper. Their voices are soft and endless, telling stories that only the trees can understand. And yet, you feel as if they're speaking to you. The falconer tilts her head back and closes her eyes. She listens, not with her ears, but with her breath. Did you know that in medieval times, some believed trees could dream, that they held within them memories of battles, of births, of long loss, lullabies? Some even thought trees marked the places where dreams touched the earth, and if you lay beneath them, you could dream not just your own dreams, but the dreams of the land. You lie back slowly. The moss beneath you is thick and cool, a cushion from the world. The air smells of pine needles and wet stone. Your body settles. Above, a hawk cries faintly in the sky. It's not alarm, not hunger, just voice. A sound that says, I'm here. You are here to still breathing. The falconer speaks, at last, her voice, low and clear, like a distant harp string. There's a tree in this forest, older than any keep, she whispers. It stands where the river bends, where fog settles at dusk. They say its roots reach the dreams of sleeping hawks. You can see it now in your mind. Twisted roots spiraling into soft earth, branches that hold not just leaves, but stars. The falconer rises, brushing moss from her cloak. She nods to you, not as command, but as invitation. Would you walk with her? Yes. Just softly, step by step. The path leads deeper now. The trees close in gently. The air grows cooler, and you hear the faint trickle of water ahead. A brook. Ig's voice is small. You follow its sound, and soon you see it threading through the trees like a silver ribbon. The falconer kneels beside it. She cups her hands and drinks. You do the same. The water is cool, clean, and ancient. It tastes of stone and sky. It moves through you like calm. And across the stream, there it is, the dreaming tree. Its trunk is wide enough for 3 people to wrap their arms around it. Its bark is silver gray, streaked with green lichen. One of its limbs arches over the stream, dipping down as though to sip. The falconer steps forward and places her palm upon its bark. Her breath catches not in fear, but in reverence. She whispers, Old one, we've come to rest beneath you. And then she sits again, cross-legged her falcons. Do not follow her here. They wait back in their quiet house, because this is not their dreaming place. It is hers, and now it is yours. You sit across from her, with the stream at your side and the dreaming tree at your back. The sound of water trickling, the leaves rustling. The world narrows to these soft, repeating sounds. She begins to hum. It's not a melody, you know. Not one you've heard before, but it feels familiar. Like something you once heard long ago in sleep. It rises slowly, then falls, then disappears into silence. The tree seems to respond. Its leaves tremble just faintly. A squirrel stops to listen, then scampers away quietly, as if not to disturb the dream. And then she opens her palm. Inside it is a small pouch. She unfastens it and scatters something into the stream. Tiny seeds. The water catches them, cradles them, carries them away. Each one holds a story, she murmurs. A wish, a memory, a goodbye. She hands you one, a tiny thing, round and light. You hold it in your hand. It warms slightly, as if remembering something. You think it's something you'd like to release, a thought, a weight, a worry, and you let it go. Drop it into the water. Watch it spin and dance and vanish into the current. The stream thanks you with a brighter sparkle. You feel lighter, not empty, just less heavy. You've given the dreaming tree a story, and in return, it gives you quiet. The falconer closes her eyes again. And so do you. The world slows. The wind gentles, and the stream sings you a lullaby. Only the trees and falcons can hear. Part 2. You are still beneath the dreaming tree. Its bark is cool against your back. The stream beside you flows on, gentle as ever, and the falconer, across from you, breathes in time with the rustling leaves above. She opens her eyes, slowly, and looks at you, not searching, not questioning, but simply acknowledging that you are here, that you stayed, that you rested. She nods once and rises. In her hand now, she carries a small piece of folded linen. She unwraps it slowly, revealing something round and glinting, a mirror. Not glass, but polished silver. Etched around the rim are tiny symbols, spirals, suns, falcon feathers. In the 13th century, mirrors like this were rare, made by skilled metalworkers and alchemists. They were believed not only to reflect the face, but the soul, and when used under moonlight, they were said to show dreams waiting to be born. The falconer lifts it gently and tilts it toward the stream. The silver catches the light bouncing from the water and throws it upward, flickering like the heartbeat of a firefly. She holds it up to the dreaming tree, and the tree, in its own way, seems to lean toward it. She then turns the mirror toward you, but what you see is not just your face. You see your reflection bathed in this moment, in green leaves and rippling water, in hush and harmony, in stillness and light. The falconer speaks softly. This is who you are, beneath the noise, beneath the turning wheels and ticking clocks. This is your still self. You feel something that not in your thoughts, but in your body. A loosening, a release, like a breath you didn't realize you'd been holding. Gently, let go. She wraps the mirror again and slips it into a leather pouch tied at her side, not to keep it hidden, only safe. Then she turns and begins walking again, this time following the stream, deeper into the forest. You rise and walk beside her, step by step, sound by sound. The birds have grown quieter now. Even the breeze seems hushed, as though the forest has entered its own kind of meditation. As the canopy thickens, light dims, not into darkness, but into a soft, silvery blue. It is the light that comes just before twilight, the light between wakefulness and dreams. And there up ahead you see it, a small glade, encircled by tall stones, each one smoothed by centuries of rain and time. Some lean slightly, others stand tall like sentinels. At the center, a stone basin filled with clear water. The falconer steps into the glade. You follow, your steps falling onto a carpet of soft grass. She kneels beside the basin and places both hands on its rim. This place, she tells you with her eyes, is sacred. In medieval times, such places were called lunar wells, not because they held the moon, but because they reflected eye perfectly, clearly when the night was still. Pilgrims once came here, under starlight, to speak wishes aloud, then remained silent while the well answered in dreams. You kneel, too. The falconer dips her fingers into the water and flicks a few drops into the air. They fall like tiny stars, catching what little light remains. Then she offers you the basin. You lean forward. The surface ripples slightly, then stills. Your reflection appears soft, dreamy, suspended in the hush of the glade. But it's not only your face. You see a memory, a place that brought you peace, a moment when you felt light, free, open. The water shifts again. Now it shows a falcon circling above a forest of silver trees. Then just for a heartbeat it shows the dreaming tree again, its roots glowing faintly like threads of starlight beneath the soil. And then it stills. The falconer stands, and so do you. She gestures with one hand to the ring of stones. You look closely now and realize they are not only stone. Each one is carved with falcon wings, feathers etched deep, worn smooth by wind and time. She walks to one, places her palm against the wing, and bows her head. You do the same. You feel warmth not from the stone, but from within yourself, a feeling like coming home, like being remembered. The falconer takes one final look at the basin, then turns toward the forest edge. There, between the trees, you see a path beginning to brighten. Moonlight. It has arrived, gently, quietly painting the leaves in soft silver, tracing each blade of grass, kissing the tops of stones. She leads the way, and you follow her, deeper still, into the hush of evening. Moonlight now stretches across the forest floor like spilled silver. It moves slowly, brushing over roots, dipping into puddles left by the stream. Every surface it touches seems to glow. The falconer walks ahead of you, her cloak fluttering gently behind her like a quiet shadow. She does not speak, but her presence is a language in itself. Each step she takes says, "Come with me. This way is safe." The trees thin slightly, just enough to reveal the sky above. And now, you see them. The stars, scattered across the heavens like seeds cast by wind. Some shimmer faintly, others pulse slowly like breath. One falls just a flicker and disappears behind the trees. The falconer pauses. She raises her hand, points to the north. There, glittering among the constellations, is the shape of a bird, a falcon, drawn not in ink or stone but in stars. Cygnus, she whispers not quite its name, but close enough for the dreaming world. The medieval stargazers once called it the bird of passage, a constellation that guided travelers, dreamers, and those who walk between worlds. She lowers her hand. The forest stills, and the wind begins again soft, slow, like a lullaby whispered by the trees. You walk together now in silence. Your footfalls make no sound. The moss is thick beneath your boots, and the night wraps around you like velvet. Ahead, you spot something faint, flickering, a fire. Not bright or roaring, but small and contained. Its light glows amber, nestled in a ring of stone. Beside it sits a low wooden bench, and draped across it a fur cloak, soft as moon. This is the falconer's night hearth, a place she built for dreaming under open skies. You both sit. The fire crackles quietly. Pop, crack, hit. Its flames dance low, as if aware that the night is sacred and must not be disturbed. She reaches into her pouch again and pulls out a small pouch. Inside herbs and petals. She tosses a pinch into the fire. The scent rises, instantly sweet. Chamomile, ghostly lavender, and the cool earthiness of sage. The smoke swirls upward, lazy and pale, curling into patterns only the forest understands. You close your eyes. You listen to the fire, to the leaves brushing each other in the breeze, to the far-off sound of an owl calling once, then silence again. You are here, held away. The falconer begins to hum, a soft, circular tune that has no beginning, no end, just a gentle rise and fall, like breath, like tide, like sleep. And then she speaks not to you, not to herself, but to the night. In the old days, she murmurs, falconers would tell their birds a story before sleep, not with words, but with presence, with calm hands and slow movements. They believed it carried into their dreams, so the falcons could fly through stars instead of storm. She looks at you then. Would you like such a story? She smiles, just a curve of her lips, and begins. There once was a falcon who dreamed of flying across the sea, but each time she tried, she awoke before the water ended. One night, beneath the moon, her keeper lit a small fire and whispered no words, only breathed slowly and stayed near. The falconer takes a breath now. So do you. In her dream, the falcon flew again. This time, the sea was still. The stars were her map, and on the other side, she found a grove of silver trees, older than time. She landed not on a branch, but on a memory. The fire flickers low now, and you feel it deep in your chest, that place the story touches but never names. The falconer leans back, her eyes drifting to the sky again. The stars above shimmer faintly. You see them blur slightly as your eyes grow heavier. One more exhale, and the quiet begins to hold you tighter. She tosses one last pinch of herbs into the fire, just enough for a final breath of lavender. Then she pulls a small bundle from beside the bench, a woolen blanket. She unfolds it slowly and lays it across your shoulders. It is warm. It smells of forest and chamomile, and the weight of it just right. As she returns to her seat, you begin to feel it, that floating feeling, that gentle unraveling of thoughts, that moment between one breath and the next, when sleep takes your hand and says softly, "You're ready." You lie beside the fire, your eyes closed, your breath slowed. The falconer sits nearby, her presence soft and steady. You can feel her there, not watching, not waiting, just being. The flames dance, low enough. The crackling wood whispers instead of speaks, and overhead, the stars begin to shift, their slow orbit drawing new shapes across the night. You open your eyes briefly, and above you, the sky unfolds. A falcon constellation still glimmers in the north. But now, you notice others, a bow drawn with silver, a tree whose limbs reach into the dark, a curved feather cradling a small light. The medieval stargazers once believed that each constellation had its own season of dreaming, and that if you fell asleep under the right one, your dream would come true. Tonight, you lie beneath Alecto's wing, a forgotten constellation, known only in the oldest texts, a symbol of safe passage through night. The falconer lowers her hood. Her hair falls softly over her shoulders, lit faintly by moonlight. She lifts her eyes skyward and whispers a blessing not in Latin or old tongues, but in the language of breath. She places her hand gently on the earth beside you, and in that touch, you feel it, that you are home, not in a house, not in a village, but in this quiet, this moment, this still, sacred space between stars and stone. She rises now, but not far. She walks to a nearby oak bark furrowed, leaves quivering faintly. At its base rests a small cage, half covered in wool. She lifts the cloth. Inside is a small, pale kestrel, its feathers soft with youth, its eyes wide and calm. "This one hasn't flown yet," she says gently. "But soon. And not alone." You feel her words settle into your chest like a stone in a stream. Weighted. Yes, but grounding. The falconer opens the cage slowly, placing her gloved hand inside. The kestrel steps onto it, light as a sigh. She brings the bird closer to the fire, letting it feel the warmth, see the stars, hear the hush. "This is the world," she tells it softly, "and you are part of it." She lifts her hand slowly, and the kestrel spreads its wings just once, a soft whoosh of air, then folds them again. "Tomorrow," she says, smiling, "not tonight." And she returns the bird to its soft nest, drawing the cloth back across the cage. You understand now. Some flights must wait. Some dreams bloom slowly, and some nights are meant for nothing more than stillness. She sits beside you again. The fire now is just embers glowing quietly, like the last words of a poem. The forest is utterly still. Even the wind has curled up to sleep, and in this silence, the falconer begins one final tale, a whisper-soft story, for your ears alone. Long ago, in a time of cloaks and towers, a falcon flew across a sleeping kingdom. She carried no message, no warning, only a single feather. The feather drifted down, landing in the palm of a dreaming child. And from that night on, the child dreamed always of wind, of skies that never ended, and of soft, sure hands guiding her safely home. You feel the story settle into you like a lullaby. The falconer reaches into her pouch one last time. She pulls out a feather not from today's birds, but older, softer, its edges worn slightly, as if touched by 1,000 wishes. She tucks it gently into the folds of your blanket. A gift. For dreams. For protection. For flight when you are ready. And then she says, "No more." She leans back, her eyes half closed. The last ember flutters, then fades, and all around you, night wraps itself in velvet and sighs. Good. You've come so far. Now let everything soften completely. Let the last thoughts drift like leaves on a quiet stream. The story is nearly finished, and your body is ready to rest fully. Let's walk the final path together. Into dawn. The night holds you now like a gentle cocoon. The stars, still gleaming above, begin to pale just slightly, not fading, but folding back to make space for the day. The falconer has not moved from her seat beside you. Her eyes are closed, but she is not asleep. She is listening to your breath, to the heartbeat of the woods, to the invisible thread that ties dream to dawn. A soft bird call breaks the silence. Faint, tentative, like a note testing the morning air. The falconer opens her eyes slowly. She turns toward the sound. Then another call answers, a rustle of wings. And in the trees above, you see a shape one of her falcon's lyrias come. She perches silently on a branch, her feathers silvered by moonlight, her eyes glowing gold. She always comes first, the falconer whispers. She dreams, near me, then wakes early. To listen, you follow her gaze upward. The sky is no longer black, but navy blue deep and serene. On the farthest edge of the horizon, the faintest brushstroke of rose appears. The very beginning of dawn. It arrives slowly in medieval time, not by clocks or bells, but by light creeping over fields and through cracks in stone walls. The time they once called matins. The quiet hour before song, before work, before words. And here, in this moment, there is only stillness. The falconer stands now, rising with the same grace as her birds. She lifts the blanket from your shoulders, careful not to wake your body too much. She folds it gently, places it beside the fire pit. Then she extends her hand to you. You take it, not with urgency, but with reverence. Together, you walk slowly to the edge of the clearing. The forest around you seems to glow from within. Leaves lit softly from beneath, bark touched with pearl, mist rises from the ground in ribbons, curling around your boots. The falconer stops, and from her shoulder, another bird lifts. It's Thorn, the youngest falcon, now grown strong. He spreads his wings and steps to the edge of her glove. You've rested long enough, she says, not to you, not to the bird, but to the dawn itself. And Thorn leaps. His wings slice through the mist, and he climbs into the lightning sky, a dark shape rising through layers of color. First blue, then lavender, then soft gold. And as he flies, you feel something open inside you, a breath deeper than breath, a silence more restful than sleep. Because this moment is yours. The dream is ending, but the peace remains. You carry it now in your chest, like a feather tucked into memory, like a soft voice saying, "You are safe. You are whole. You can return whenever you need." The falconer turns to you one last time. She says nothing. She doesn't need to, because in her eyes, you see what you've always known, that the world is full of quiet magic, that even in the noise, stillness waits, that you are not lost. You are not late. You are exactly where you are meant to be. The mist swirls gently at your feet. The falcons call once more from the sky, and the first light of dawn brushes your skin, warm and kind. You close your eyes one last time, not to sleep, but to remember. And in that moment, you exhale. Sleep now, or rise slowly if you must. You've walked through an ancient forest, flown with falcons, and touched the dreaming tree. The story is always here,